Hello and welcome to the beautiful Pembrokeshire coastline. Now I'm out here shooting some landscapes today, and while I'm out here I want to talk about something that honestly never even crossed my mind when I first got into photography properly. In fact, it's something I actually struggled with quite a lot once I started trying to earn a living from it as well. And I'm sure you'll probably relate to this as well. But before we get onto all of that, a question I get asked quite a lot is how I find my photos or my photography locations in general. Now, there are, of course, many ways in which to find a photograph, but one of the best ways I've found is by getting a walking book or a guidebook such as this. Now, this is not photography related, this is more just for hiking and walking, and this one is called the Wales Coast Path. And the particular walk I'm doing today has got a couple of interesting things that really sparked my imagination. One of which is a yellow cave called Ogof Felon, and it's yellow because of the lichens. So I'm looking out for that. There's no photographs of it in here. And also there is an Iron Age hill fort on this route and a couple of lead, copper and silver mining locations as well, which obviously closed down now, but might offer good locations to shoot. So yeah, the inspiration is really just coming from a few lines in a walking book for today's shoot. And hopefully we'll be able to take some nice photos along the way. If not, it'll just be a lovely walk. But yeah, this place is absolutely great. And I think I found a nice little shot down here to get started. So I quite like this composition here. I've got this horseshoe shaped piece of cliff top here in the foreground, which just frames things a little bit, adds a little bit of depth and scale to the image as well. And then in the midground, we've got this craggy, beachy area, which then drifts away to the background hills and cliff tops there, which the little bit of headland that sticks out on the far left corner there is where we'll be walking to today. And I think that's probably where the Iron Age hill fort might be, hopefully. I have no idea, we'll see when we get there. But yeah, I quite like this shot. Currently I'm at 320th per second at f8, got the 2-second timer on. So let's take this shot now, focus down on the little beachy area there. That seems to get everything nice and sharp throughout the frame. And yeah, see what else we can find. So something I've been thinking about a lot recently is how photography can actually be quite a lonely pastime. And honestly, it's something that I never really thought about at all when I first got into it. And I definitely struggled with it, especially during those early days. So I've been earning a living with my camera now for nearly 2 decades, which is pretty crazy. But back then, I was rarely on my own at all. I was always around people, you know, working with other people, socialising, spending time with the family and friends. So suddenly spending long periods of time out on my own with the camera was definitely quite a big adjustment to make, if I'm honest. And this is definitely not me complaining, because there's probably way more positives that come with this than there are negatives, which we'll get onto in just a bit. But over time, I've actually grown to really appreciate the quietness and the space of the great outdoors. But yeah, it genuinely took me quite a while to adapt at the beginning, for sure. So I think one of the biggest changes that came with that was just actually learning to enjoy my own company a bit more than I used to. Because at first it really did feel like, I guess, kind of unfamiliar. I was so used to being around people all the time that suddenly having long stretches of time alone, just me and the camera, felt really, really strange. But over a longer period of time, photography kind of forced me into that space in a really good way. You know, I started to slow down without really thinking about it. I just spent more time just watching the light and waiting for moments and walking a bit further just to see what was around the next corner like we're doing today. And slowly that kind of quiet time stopped feeling awkward and started feeling just normal. And now I really enjoy it. There's something really, really nice about not having any distractions for a while and just kind of being present in the place that you're actually in. And I think it's so rewarding. And I think, you know, something that I've realized over the years is that there's actually a big difference between being lonely and just being alone. At the beginning, those two things felt actually really similar to me. Being out with my camera sometimes felt a bit isolating, especially when I was still getting used to it. But over time, I started to see it differently. It's become less about feeling disconnected and more about having space to think and observe and just to slow everything down a bit. I guess there's kind of a solitude that comes with photography that I've really grown to appreciate. It's not empty, I guess, it's just kind of quiet, isn't it? And that quietness can actually be quite creative in itself, especially in places like this where you've got the sound of the ocean and the wind in your ears and not much else going on. It kind of resets things on a really deep, meaningful level, doesn't it? So I think I might have found the yellow cave. Well, it's a cave of some description anyway. It's definitely a cave. Whether it's the yellow one or not, I don't know. But anyway, I've got the 70-300 lens on. I'm about 200mm and I'm at f5, and that is basically throwing my foreground out of focus. See, I'm just skimming across the top of this gauze here. Now, ideally, I'd like to get a little bit closer, a little bit further over here, but I don't think it's probably safe to do so. I think I'll probably be, risking myself. There's maybe some potholes in here, or I don't want to take a tumble or get covered in spikes. So I'm just going for a bit of a documentary style shot with this one. So nice shallow depth of field, throwing my foreground out of focus. There's just some nice light hitting the top of the grasses there, and just really focusing in on the cave itself. Some nice light coming through there as well. So I think it's quite a nice documentary style shot. And I think the other thing that photography has definitely done for me is to give me a reason to explore places I probably wouldn't have visited otherwise. Because without a camera, I'm not sure I'd always make the effort to come out in the afternoon like this or walk down to certain spots just to see what the light is doing. But once photography becomes part of what you do, it kind of changes how you see places. You start noticing small details or thinking about how a location might look at different times of day, in different weather conditions. And before you know it, you're out more often, walking further and spending more time in nature without really thinking about it as effort anymore. It just becomes part of the process and something I've genuinely come to really value over the years. So I've just walked to the headland that we were shooting earlier on, and it's been quite a walk, I have to tell you. Very up and down, very arduous. Now, fun fact for you, Pembrokeshire has more elevation gain in its coastal path than the total ascent to Everest. So it's not to be taken lightly. There's some really quite steep sections as well, lots of staircases on this particular walk. Now, it's been absolutely beautiful, but I haven't really found anything to shoot as of yet. But I did find another stone arch or cave, which I think might work quite well. Now, I headed down there a little bit further, and there's a lovely little cove down there, but I just couldn't quite make anything work. I'll show you. I took a couple of shots on my phone. The kind of hillside or the cliffside was quite awkward. It was quite a big diagonal running through the frame, which just didn't sit quite right, but the cove itself was spectacular. So I'm going to head back, I think, to the stone arch that we may have already photographed. I'm not sure if it's the same one that we shot earlier and it's just a different view of it, or if it's a completely different one. Anyway, it does look pretty cool, so hopefully we can get a shot of that. So this is definitely a lovely scene. I just think maybe the light is wrong for it, but I'm going to take it anyway, because the whole point of today's walk was a bit of a scouting, a bit of a recce mission to see what was down here and whether there's some images that are maybe worth taking at different times or different weather conditions. So I'm definitely going to take this as something that I can then go back and look at later and try and work out which direction of light might suit it better. So the woolly hat is on, the camera's on the tripod, and the rain jacket is on. Not because it's raining, but because it's really windy. It's just been relentless today, and it's just helping to cut out some of that wind, which is, yeah, working actually. Anyway, the light in the background there is absolutely amazing, but the cliff edges here in the foreground are really flat, and that's because the light is behind them, and it's also quite high as well. So I'm hoping that maybe the light might just break through the cloud coverage we've got here and just add some definition to the top edges of the cliffs. I think it really needs that. Now, speaking about light, I have a 30-page PDF guidebook all about how I use light when I'm taking my landscape photos. It's completely free. All you need to do is sign up for my weekly newsletter, which has tips, behind the scenes information, things like when I release my workshops, all of that good stuff, and news about new video releases as well. And that is completely free as well. So if you fancy taking a look at both of those, there's a link down in the video description. It'd be much appreciated. It really does help me reach out to you when there's something new that I need to tell you. Anyway, yes, let's wait a few more minutes and we'll see if we can make this shot work. I'm not looking too positive at the minute about this particular shot. However, I think it might work quite well at sunrise, and the light is coming from this direction and lighting all of these cliff edges up. I think it could completely transform the scene. So we did get some light momentarily on the top edges of the cliffs there, which I just think added a little bit of definition, a little bit of contrast to the scene. Otherwise it would feel overly flat. However, I still do think it's going to work better at sunrise. So today's mission has felt like a bit of a scouting exercise, a bit of a recce, if you will. And I do think I've got a couple of locations that I think might work better. I think this scene here would definitely suit a really big swell as well. You know, those waves crashing against the edges of the cliffs. So I do think it's probably a location that I'll come back to once I've reviewed these images. So it's definitely not been a wasted journey at all. It's been absolutely fantastic. I've seen so many chuffs today as well, which is always nice. Now I do hope you got something from this video. I hope maybe it served as a little bit of inspiration if you're maybe getting out there and feeling kind of a little bit lost or a little bit alone. Honestly, stick at it. The more time you spend out in nature on your own, the easier it gets, and the more you'll enjoy it, I'm sure. Anyway, I do hope to see you again next week, and if you like this video, please be sure to give it a like. I always forget to say that, and there's a video up here as well which you might like as well. Anyway, please do take care, and I hope to see you again next week.